Welcome, everyone, to episode 366 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
America.
Will. Oh, man.
We're going out of order.
Well, here's the thing. I was actually going to say before we recorded, what order are we going in?
Yeah.
Because when Corey comes on, he has me go before him.
Well, here's the thing. As soon as Dan said that, I said, "Oh shit, what should I do?"
We didn't plan
and
it
then
out.
I looked at Will, and he didn't go immediately. So I was like, "All right, I guess I'm going."
Will, you've always gone before me.
Have I? I thought
Yeah.
I was always last.
No,
I think
Corey's
Corey's last.
Oh, man.
It's been a while.
Well,
So, on that note, we are all here for this episode. We're going to be talking about Octopath Traveler, a game that we've all played, and all played quite a bit. I know at least Corey played for a significant portion of the weekend, so I put a significant amount in the past week, and Eric's played quite a bit too, right, Eric?
Yeah, probably about 10 hours.
Nice.
yeah, Dan, how much did you put in?
I 27 or 28.
All right, I hit 30.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's only over I only played the first week I had it. I only played like 8 hours maybe because I had so much stuff going on. But I made a conscious effort to play as much as I could this past week, so I did play it quite a bit. So that's gonna be our main topic. Go ahead, Corey.
You know what inspired me to play so much, Dan, was when I messaged you guys and you said you can do it in the name of game.
Oh,
And I was like, he's right. I can do it. I didn't end up beating it in time for the episode, but I did play like 16 hours or something like that on Saturday.
Nice.
And I think I'm at like 45 right now. So
okay. I know apparently it can go like 50, 80, 100 hours if you want it to, if you do all the stuff, which I may
I can
end up
see
doing.
that. Yeah, I can see that.
So yeah, that's gonna be our main topic. Anyone have anything they want to tease for later on in the episode?
Not positive I'll be here for the whole thing, but if I am, I bought MLB The Show 18.
Nice.
Is it 18 or 19 now? Whatever the newest one
I
is.
have no idea what years
Yeah.
they go now.
Yeah. Got a really good deal on it, and I had played it with a couple of friends that were down this weekend. Really good. So I think other than that, while I've been away, I've played nothing but Rocket League and Fortnite,
Uh-huh.
as per the usual.
Will, anything new?
Oh, my God. Not really. I have a clothing conundrum that I want to float at you guys, if you're all here, because I've been taking a lot of crap for it.
Uh-oh.
So I've actually had a request by Mother to get your guys' opinion on it because she picks on me for it.
Okay.
So
Nice.
if you guys are all here, I'll ask all of you. But
I'm into fashion.
you'll see. It's funny. A redneck at Richford Dairy Treat lobbed a comment my way the other day. So
You never
What
take
was
what
the
those
comment?
people say seriously.
yeah, you just
Yeah,
I
what?
can't-
You can't leave us hanging here.
Save
I-
that he's teasing it for later, is what he's
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Oh.
What
There
about
you
you?
go.
Cor-
Not here. What if we're not here
I-
later?
Man, I've got a severe case of blue balls right now, Will.
Maybe then I'll lob it in the
Hurts.
group message, but it won't be on the podcast. And then I'll just say it to Dan if you're both not here.
Yeah,
Fair
you'll
enough.
have to listen to the episode tomorrow. What about you, Corey? Anything to tease?
No, I don't play much. I don't think I played anything new. I pretty much actually restarted playing Rocket League,
Uh-huh.
but the same usuals: Rocket League, Hearthstone.
Hearthstone.
Oh yeah.
Back at it.
I didn't know you were back into Hearthstone.
I don't play on the ladder anymore. I just do the Tavern Brawl every week, and then the arena when I have enough coins.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not play anything new. I played exclusively Octopath Traveler this week in an attempt to get as much done as I could in it. So that's what we'll start talking about here. I'm actually going to start with Eric here. Octopath Traveler, not traditionally a game that Eric would be into, right?
That is correct. Not
Um,
at all.
but at least the last time we talked about it, you seem to be really enjoying it. So I
Yeah.
wanted to start with you, get your thoughts, what you like about it.
Yeah, I really, really like the game. And honestly, the only reason I don't have more than 10 hours is because I had friends down last weekend, and my wife's schedule, she's been home a lot, so I haven't had as much time to play. Otherwise, I'd probably be closer to 20. But yeah, I love that game. It's there's a couple things that I really like about it that I think have kept me a little more involved than other games like this have. And I'd say the first one is I really like that there's 8 characters, and that you're kind of going around starting out collecting them and seeing what their stories are and figuring out what their special actions are and all that sort of stuff and putting together your party. That is probably the thing I started off liking a lot. Second thing that I really like about it is I always feel like, I guess in past games like this that I've played, I didn't necessarily feel like I was making progress. It was kind of a slow, drag to level up. And,
slowly get through the story. And this
one,
you're right. And I didn't put it together until you mentioned it, but the stories are individual, like tidy packets that you finish.
Right, exactly.
It's like an hour and a half per little story, and you finish that, and then you float around and do whatever you want until you start the next little tidy package story.
And not only just that, but I always feel like I'm like progressing with my characters and ranking them up and unlocking new skills and those sorts of things. Where in other games, it just felt like more of a slog to me than this game has. So those are probably my 2 favorite things about the game. I'm a big fan of how the game looks. Obviously, it's really cool. 2.5D, I guess they're calling it. The kids are calling it. But yeah, I really enjoy the battle systems and all that kind of stuff. I haven't skipped any battles. I haven't fled from any of them, which says a lot because that's something I would ordinarily do just to kind of get to where I'm trying to get.
It's a fun combat system.
It is. It's really fun. It's very strategic. Once you really start looking at it. There was something I wasn't doing. Or that I didn't realize till I was like probably 5 hours in. You know how it tells you the number of times you have to hit them
to break their shield
with a weakness? Yeah. I didn't realize that number was what that meant. I thought it was like their level.
Yeah.
So now that I know that, you can kind of set fights up a little better. But yeah, I mean, those are probably the things that I enjoy most about it.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the combat system real quick. It's if anyone here's played, I know we've all played Bravely Default, but if anyone in the listening audience has played Bravely Default, it's similar to that. It's Bravely Default-esque. But one of the things I really liked that they added in this one was, like Eric was talking about, the shield. And you can't do a lot of damage to the creatures you're fighting until you break their shield. And so yeah, to the left of underneath them, there's a little like bar, and to the left of it, there's a shield with a number, and you have to hit them with their weak things they're weak against that many times before you break their shield and can start doing damage. The cool thing about that is it has 1+ little icons underneath, and they start off as question marks, and as you attack, you learn what creatures you're fighting, what their weaknesses are, and that'll unlock permanently from whenever you fight that creature again. There's advanced versions of the different creatures, and they'll have different ones, or they'll have one fewer than the other ones. But I like that. That's another thing. When Eric talked about progression, that's another way you can progress is, when you move to a new area, all the things you fight are all question marks. And as you slowly work your way through that area, you slowly unlock and see what the things are weak against. And it's another little progression thing.
That's one of my favorite things about the battle system is figuring out what those weaknesses are. And I had... who is it? Is it Primrose that can allure people?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I brought somebody into my party that exploits weakness. Mm-hmm. So I would summon him, and he would help me figure out what the weaknesses were, and I thought that was so cool.
Yeah. One of the characters does that too.
Oh.
Cyrus. Whenever you start a battle, he unlocks one thing per character, and then he has an ability called Analyze, which... is one of the scholar abilities that you can use to unlock the question marks.
He'll probably be a mainstay for me then. I love that.
Yeah. But also, like Bravely Default, every turn you get a battle point, and you can save those battle points if you only attack once, or you can attack more than once and spend them all, on a really powerful attack. So that's another layer of strategy in the battles, is how you decide to use those, whether you blow them all in the first turn, or if you save them up and slowly whittle down and then unleash all the powerful attacks once you get your enemies' shields broken. So it's good stuff. Good combat system.
Yeah, actually, another thing I wanted to point out, it's not about the combat system, but about Eric saying, you constantly have the feeling that you're progressing. One thing I noticed, when I was doing the Chapter 2 missions, a lot of the level like they break the levels up so you can kind of do them in a specific order. Like I think it might have been Therion, whose his chapter 2 quest was like level 19 recommended for you to do it, but then like Ophelia's was like 23.
Yeah.
So they kind of like break it up by little by the levels, so you can still kind of progress through the stories but not feel blocked off and you have to grind a ton to be able to do them all at once, because you kind of will hit those levels while you do the other characters' story missions.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So then you can do the ones that are higher leveled. And like I know in chapter 3, like a couple of them are 40, a couple of them are in the mid 30s. Yeah. So you kind of have a little bit of, you can still progress the main story and level up and grind at the same time. So
yeah, I've kind of done some of this. I've done was it 2 or 3 of the second level ones. Yeah, and their levels vary wildly. Like Will said, I think mine's second chapter stuff started at level 21, and I think they go up all the way up to 29. I don't know if it matters like what level your characters are at what times, or who you picked at what time, but yeah, that's good stuff. Corey, let's hear your thoughts. You have played significantly more than the rest of us, so what are your thoughts? I mean, you put 16 hours in one day, so that's got to say something, right?
Yeah, a very quick 16 hours. It was one of those things where you look up and then it's 4 hours since the last time you looked at the time, and then that happened like 3 times. So
okay,
it went by quick. But I think we've hinted at this style of game in the past. Like I remember when we first started recording, the idea of taking this style of game, the retro 2D, but implementing a bunch of modern features and graphical enhancements and stuff like that. And then I know, at least I was, and I think you guys were too, like very excited once we saw the initial, I think it was in like an E3 montage for Nintendo, like their upcoming Switch games. And it was just like a few screenshots, but I remember like freaking out, like seeing it and being so excited and seeing the world map and everything. So I was very excited for the game, but also nervous because some of the reviews, I don't think the reviews were good for the most part, right? Like I think it's 80.
Honestly, they weren't as good as I thought, and I was Destructoid. I think gave it a 7.5. I was like, I hope this isn't going to be like an average JRPG,
right?
And it turned out, to me, I feel like that's a lowball score.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
IGN is the one that gave it like a 9.3, and the joke was always, IGN, they give everything high scores, but I don't think that's the case as much anymore. But I feel like that would be the closest to what I would probably score Octopath Traveler. I think 7.5 is definitely lowballing it.
I agree, and for me, it's the combat is great. The path actions are awesome.
Yeah.
The ability to interact with villagers based on your individual character's skills. I think that's a really awesome implementation, and I like how each of those villagers that you can interact with has their own backstory, and most of the time has nothing to do with the game.
Yep.
Somebody took the time to write backstories for these characters, and it's kind of fun to talk to them though and see what they have to say, and then use the scrutinize ability to see what their real background is. And there's a lot of really good writing in this, and I also think there's a bigger conversation to be had about this kind of game, and this is something I know we talked about years ago when we first started too. The idea of why JRPGs were so celebrated back in the day, but now they're more niche. And I remember us having a discussion about how when dialogue isn't performed by CG and even voice acting, even though there is some voice acting in this game, you kind of fill in the blanks with your imagination. And it's good to have that experience again. Yeah. And yeah, for me, that coupled with like the awesome storytelling, each character I think has a really compelling, awesome story to follow. Yeah. And they vary enough that they're different. The one complaint I have is how formulaic it kind of is, where you go and experience a character's story, the initial parts of it, you do some things in the village, you go to a dungeon, fight a boss, done. Yeah. And it's that way for all the characters for the first, I don't want to spoil it, but for the first 3 chapters anyway. It's that over and over again. That kind of bothered me, and I did see some reviews complain about that too. and also complain about the individual characters' stories not interacting.
Yeah,
That's
that's a
the
complaint I
only
read
weird
a few
thing,
places.
Yeah, for me.
That doesn't bother me.
I was just gonna say that I don't think that's gonna bother me one bit. I actually expected them to like intertwine. So
Yeah.
if they kind of stay separate, I think that's interesting. To me.
I
It's
like
different.
that the game developer said, you know what? We have 8 different stories here to tell. We don't need to make them intertwine for it to be good.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? That was actually my biggest complaint until I played a little bit more. And then when they kind of have banter that you have while you're doing the main chapter, that was fine for me because I was like, why aren't these characters like they're traveling together, but they're not interacting with each other at all. But when I saw that you could do the travel banter,
Yep.
that kind of got rid of that complaint for me. I was like, oh, okay, so they are still working together and they are acknowledging each other.
Yeah.
So I was all right with that after that.
Again, it's a game that like throws new stuff at you seemingly all the time. I just came across all that stuff opens up once you start the second chapter. And I don't know, like if they have banter written for all the characters and all, like I don't know how it works, but it's really interesting.
Yeah,
Because yeah, you're right. Well, the characters hadn't really interacted very much other than the initial meeting, but they didn't talk back and forth. It was just the character you're meeting talking. So that's neat to see.
and I'll tell you what, some of the stuff is actually really well done because like Cyrus interacting with any of the characters is hilarious to me because he's this intellectual, but he doesn't understand social cues at all, so he just kind of says whatever he wants. It's just really funny to see him interact with like Primrose or Therion and all those guys. It's pretty cool.
Some of the more street smart characters.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go ahead and say that I absolutely love the game for a lot of the reasons we talked about. My one complaint is how much it eats the Switch's battery.
Yeah.
It drains the battery faster than like Breath of the Wild does. So that's my one complaint about the game.
Which is weird.
It is weird, but it's run on Unreal Engine 4. So I wonder if that has. I think there's more graphically going on in the background than we think because it's an old school like 16-bit looking game, but it's got the light blur and all the cool lighting effects. And actually the picture that I have on for the episode banner is one I took playing the game. Like it's one of those games where you could take endless screenshots and just have it look amazing. It's when they're in, I don't remember which town, where you get Ophelia. I don't remember what the name of the town is, but
Flames Grace?
Yes, it's overlooking the cathedral in the background. It's gorgeous. So
just to finish my thought from before,
yeah,
that doesn't bother me. The fact that the characters don't interact, their stories don't interact too much. But I have a bigger complaint, and I think this sort of ties into what people were getting at with their complaint about the characters interacting, is I don't get a sense of how the world is connected. I have no idea, like, who's in charge? Who are the big players? How do these towns, like, are they kingdoms? Are they, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no bigger geopolitical picture going on. Everything's very
fragmented.
I think, where's Cyrus Star? Atlas Dam? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I think that is the capital because he was mentoring the princess. So I think that is the main area, like maybe the capital, and then like after that it's all different, like just towns and cities and whatnot.
Yeah, I guess I kind of wish like these stories would all intersect at the end. I don't think they do because I've beaten one character's complete story. The rest of them I'm on their last chapter. But I did finish one storyline. But I mean that would be how I would do it. But apparently there is a combined story later. I've read. I haven't heard that verified, but that's what some people have said.
Yeah, because I've tried avoiding that stuff for spoilers, so I figured
I'd rather just experience it on my own for the first time and then make a judgment call.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so Will.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add? Before we talk about the characters.
Okay, so I guess I should say, like, I've put 30 hours into the game, and I've only finished 4 of the chapter 2 missions. So I've got a lot to go. I've really just been trying to work on the characters, level them up. I got all of the job shrines, so like I've been doing that.
That's what I'm kind of working on now for the secondary jobs.
I'll tell you what, I'm a big fan of how the character models change too, and you change their secondary job. Like I think characters like, because I'm rolling Ophelia with the Scholar job class, and I love the look that she does. I have Cyrus as the Apothecary. He looks awesome. I love the character models in this game. Like, I'm a huge fan of this game. Like everything about it so far. But characters is what I want to talk about, Dan. So go ahead.
Well, I mean, I wanted to. Who did everyone pick to start with?
Oh yeah,
Ophelia.
Yeah, Ophelia.
I picked Alphen.
I started with Primrose. Even though I played through Primrose's story in the demo the first time through, that's who I started with. I did Primrose and then Alberic, which is exactly how I started the demo. So
I do want to say, Dan, I actually think Primrose's story is my favorite one because it's tonally a lot different from the rest of them.
Yeah, that was an interesting.
She's a badass.
And
it reflects it in my party because I have her. You know, I don't know how long you have to keep the starting character. It might be the whole game, but she is a scholar in addition to being a dancer.
Yeah,
and I've buffed her elemental attack all the way, or as high as it'll go for all the gear I can have, and she just rips through everybody with reckless abandon. It's great.
But
that's who I started with.
Well, I did some of the starting first stories, and they're all kind of, I don't want to say, they're kind of more happy a little bit, you know, a little more carefree, and then, like, Primrose is just, like, a woman of the night dancing, getting called names, her father's murdered, like, stuff like that. It's just like, what?
Yeah.
It was completely unexpected.
Yeah, absolutely. What's your favorite party so far, Will?
So, I use Ophelia as a cleric and scholar. She's kind of like your Primrose, Dan. She just rips through everybody, does a lot of damage. And then I use Cyrus, who's a scholar and an apothecary. And then I use Therion, who is the thief and a merchant, because I kind of want... Tressa has an ability that you can steal coin from enemies. And because coin is a hard thing to come by, I use Therion for that. So... that's what I do. And then my last character is Primrose, who is a dancer and cleric.
Oh, okay.
But I really like Hanet, too, a lot. She's kind of the one that I cycle in.
Okay.
Quite a bit, so.
What's your party, Eric?
Oh, geez, Dan, I'm trying to remember. It's Alphen, I think Primrose, the warrior?
Olberic.
Yep, Olberic. And Tressa is in there right now because I'm doing her story. I don't know as if I've settled on, because it sounds like the two that I didn't start, or the two last ones that I need to get, I'm probably gonna like quite a bit. So yeah, they'll probably slide their way into my rotation. It's hard to pick because I like all of them so much.
Same thing. Yeah.
What are
you know,
Corey?
and especially the ones who you like, the first few that you start out with, like, you get a soft spot for them. You don't want to boot them from your party. You feel like a jerk. What
about you, Corey?
My party has been mostly Ophelia, Cyrus, Therion, and I rotate out that fourth character. Therion, because he can open those blue treasure chests, and I'll be damned if
I'm gonna miss any.
Backtrack and go find all those blue treasure chests.
And you can steal from everybody.
Yeah, I don't like to miss out on those like one-time things, like stealing from the boss, collecting from the boss, because that's when you get your best return.
Yeah.
But I did something similar to you, Dan. My combat strategy. For a lot of the beginning of the game, I had Tressa in my party, who was my favorite character because her donate BP ability.
Yeah.
So I had Cyrus and Ophelia with the scholar abilities, the spells. And then on my first turn, I would use Tressa's donate BP to give an extra BP, 2 BP to either Cyrus or Ophelia. So then on the first turn, by the time it was Ophelia or Cyrus's turn, and they would go towards the end of the turn, I would have figured out what their weakness was, and then I could just do the max spell cast. In for probably the first 2.5 chapters of all the characters, I was able to wipe out basic enemies on the first turn by doing that, which was nice because I had who has the evasive maneuvers? Is that Scholar skill?
Yes.
Yeah.
The one that limits the number of random battles. I did think that was a bit much to start, but then I was really happy to see you could get that evasive maneuver skill early on that limited the number of random battles.
Yeah, I use that if I have to go through an area at the beginning again where I'm not really getting any experience. I'll throw that on and
and
make that
so
easier.
What's nice about being able to wipe out the enemies in the first turn is you get bonuses to experience gold in JP. So even though I'm fighting less battles, I was still getting those bonuses, and it kind of made up for it. And I also like how they scale the levels too. If you're over leveled, you don't get nearly as much experience as somebody who is under leveled.
Yeah.
So it kind of balances out.
Yeah. Yeah, my best party that I've put together is Primrose, obviously, because that's who I started with. Ophelia, Tressa, and then Cyrus. No heavier hitters there. At least physical damage.
I will say, Dan,
but it worked out at least to this point.
You'll want to practice for later on.
Yeah, I'm sure. I've already started. I'm trying to keep the characters somewhat close together. I mean, obviously, since I have Primrose as my main character, she's level 30, I think, which is 5 or 6 levels higher than all my other characters. So, but yeah, I am trying to rotate and keep everyone updated and put the new abilities on them. Without
spoiling anything, I wanted to at least finish one of the character stories before we started recording. So when I woke up from my long nap today, I did that, and the boss fight for that last chapter took me probably 40 minutes.
Really?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to say is I actually really like how these boss battles, even in the early game, are kind of like marathons.
Yeah.
They can take some time.
If you're not properly equipped to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've gone into some areas where I didn't have anybody that could do hit the weak spots.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go back to town and redo my party because I was just like my party's all kind of the same. So
yep.
Corey, quick question for you. Without spoiling too much, did you get any of the 4 secret jobs?
No, I found a shrine for one of them, but I wasn't able to beat the boss at the end of the shrine. I probably could now.
Because I went for one of them and got host complete so fast. So I was like, well, I gotta wait a while before I can do this.
Yep. Nope. I just found the one. I don't think you're supposed to go to them until chapter 4 anyway, because I think the one I found, the recommended level was 37 or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I got TPW'd on the first turn.
Oof.
So, yeah.
Come on, Will.
I was only 25, I think. So.
Yep, that's the first time I tried it. I was about that level too, and I got destroyed.
Nice. Any other thoughts?
I don't even know if it's worth commenting on, but the level building, not the towns and stuff, but the in between areas. Did you guys ever just get pissed off by the particle effects?
No.
You ever feel like it was a bit too much sometimes?
No, I like it.
No.
Especially the
it.
snowy areas.
I like it too. I think it's a great feature, but every now and again, I just want to see a pristine something that doesn't have fog or light effects that are the lens flare effect or I just every now and again I just want to have my palette cleansed with an old fashioned, I don't know, just a little thing. That's why I almost didn't bring it up. But
what's everybody's favorite area?
While I was playing, I knew somebody was going to ask me this, and I had one picked out, but I can't remember what it was called.
Because I like the still snow area.
Yeah.
You couldn't believe that.
No surprise.
Yeah.
I thought the sand area was cool with all the sparkles in the sand.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool too.
I like the look of the plains areas outside Atlas Dam.
Hmm.
Kind of more, a little more open. So that'd probably be my favorite. All right. Any other thoughts? Everyone going to keep playing Octopath Traveler?
Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
absolutely.
Okay.
Highly recommended.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Don't let the mediocre review scores scare you away from this one. I feel like it's quite the special game, and it's nice to see a game like it definitely has the old school feel with modern touches. You know.
It's doing really well too.
Yeah, it's
Good.
sold exceptionally well. They can't keep it in stock in Japan.
Amazon's on back order for a month.
Oh, is it
Oh
really?
wow.
At least they were. Let me check.
I actually went
'Cause-
digital for this one.
Me too.
I only didn't because knowing that it wasn't my kind of game, I pre-ordered on Amazon to get
Yeah.
that discount.
Yep, and then if you needed to trade it in, if you didn't like it, you could get something back.
All right, let's see.
Take it to Walmart and return it for full price.
It is not on back order anymore,
Okay.
but it was for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I remember reading because they apologized because they didn't think it was going to do as well as it did.
Which is good. It means they'll make more games like this, you know?
Yeah.
Please do.
Oh yeah, I really hope so.
Love to see
So
Octopath
good, so
Traveler
good. The Switch. Oh man, what a
Yeah, we should-
console.
We should probably mention that it was the Octopath Traveler was a system seller for
too.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Again.
it was.
You gonna keep your Switch when you're done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
There's enough to play now and enough coming up that
You got to get whooped up on Smash Brothers.
Definitely.
God, I'm gonna
Can't wait
whoop
for that.
Will's ass so bad.
I'm going to
That-
crush all of you.
I hope the new Mario Party is good too.
I just don't want my kids to beat me. That's all. I
You
mean,
think Mario Party will have online play?
oh, I don't know. That's
Good
interesting.
question. Be fun to hang out and have a few beers and play some
That
Mario
would be.
Party though.
That would be fun.
Is Mario Party going to be out by the time we go to Virginia to see Eric, Corey?
I think it's supposed to come out in like
October?
September.
Oh, are you
Oh.
coming for sure?
Heck yeah.
Oh,
You got to commit to a date, Will. That's how these things work.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Late October, is that what we were looking at?
Yeah, whenever is good with me.
Yeah.
As long as it's a Friday, obviously it's going to be like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but
because I am going on vacation in October. I just want to. We'll figure that out after.
let's hash it out right now.
Right now, you think?
Right after our Octopath Traveler.
Let's all call up our calendars.
I just need
I could
Christy to
tell you
me
there's
what it
nothing on
is.
mine.
Reefer goes 2035. Octopath Traveler 15 will win a Thummy.
Thummy.
Thumb.
I would imagine it could win a Thummy
Oh, sure.
This year.
Yeah.
Do we have a RPG category? What would be the closest
What about Game of the Year?
contender?
Yeah, it could get that. It could get biggest.
I don't know.
Biggest surprise.
Eric, are you and I welcome?
Best
for
new
the
IP.
Thummies?
You'd have to ask
Yeah?
the founding father.
We should have a minimum games played threshold.
That's fair.
I think I
5.
played
To
Two?
vote.
that came out this year.
Well, I always said
Oh no, I played stuff at the beginning of the year.
I would be terrible like as a movie voting on movies. I haven't seen a movie in the theater in 3 or 4 years. Maybe
I
more.
just went recently.
Yeah.
What'd you see?
I don't even
Jurassic
remember.
Park. Oh,
Oh.
you took it down.
Oh, that's right. Is anybody gonna go see the Mr. Rogers movie?
I didn't know there was
I didn't know
one.
that was a thing.
Yeah, apparently it's a big deal. That's not a movie I go to the theaters for. I'll catch it.
What is it about?
About Mr. Rogers.
Is it a horror movie?
No, it's
If it was a horror movie
About all-
where
about
Mr. Rogers goes fucking nuts,
all the
now
dead children he keeps in his house.
that I could get into.
that'll come in 2 years.
Yeah,
Yeah, after all the secrets are dug up.
I mean it's pretty easy to see, right? Like it's
Don't
kind
know.
of creepy.
I always thought that, Eric, but the internet disagrees with me. Like everything I see is like he is one of the purest men. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, he kind of creeps
Nah,
me
man,
out, but
you've got some skeletons in the closet.
I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Nibblebits. Will, have anything?
I actually don't.
Okay.
This is actually the first time I've turned my computer on since Octopath Traveler came out.
I've not used my computer hardly at all.
Same way.
So
I like no reason to right now.
yeah, I've got my Switch. That's all I need for right now. Eric,
It's also been notoriously slow
okay.
with new stuff, to be honest.
Beardless says he's going to watch the Mr. Rogers documentary from the comfort of his home with tissues nearby.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Eric or Corey, Nibblebits?
Dan,
No,
I
but
didn't have nibble bits when I was a regular.
That's true.
I was gonna say, if you want me to look at the top links on the Gamer News subreddit, I can do that.
If you want, I've got a couple quick ones to
Go
cover.
ahead. I'll if there's anything I feel is worth mentioning, I'll
All right.
chime in after.
So my first one, Stardew Valley news. The official release for the PC multiplayer will be August 1st. The console edition's no release date, but they are to follow. The Switch will be getting that first, apparently, the Stardew Valley multiplayer, which I am very excited for. Next, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was updated this past week with some Breath of the Wild items. Includes Champion Link as a racer and the Master Cycle Zero and Paraglider from the game. I did not play this, but my kids both played as Champion Link in the Master Cycle on Mario Kart. So cool that they did that. I was surprised that they didn't do that with the release of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I'm glad it came later, but I was surprised that they didn't do that. And then my last one, Nintendo is suing two popular ROM sites, Love ROMs and Love Retro, with damages being potentially over $100 million. Apparently these two are owned by the same company, whose name escapes me. I will look it up right now. The lawsuit was filed in the state of Arizona, where these companies are located, and they want like $200,000 for every ROM on the site, or is it $20,000? It ends up being like a ton of money. So one of them shut down, and the other just removed all their Nintendo stuff. But there's some interesting quotes here. So the Nintendo in their apparently Torrent Freak got a copy of the lawsuit. It says Love ROM's website alone receives 17 million visitors each month. Such visitors are drawn to the website by the widespread availability of free, unauthorized copy of Nintendo's video games and other highly valuable intellectual property. The resulting popularity of defendants' Love ROMs and Love Retro websites has allowed defendants to reap substantial ill-gotten gains, including through donations and sale of advertising on the Love ROMs and Love Retro websites, which I thought was interesting. That's kind of a different angle than these things are usually taken. It's the traffic is there for the Nintendo games, and those people are seeing the ads, and that's where this website's making its money from. So I felt like
That's a valid argument, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so. So the company is the owner is Jacob Matthias. Matthias Designs is the company name. So
Poor Jacob Matthias.
$150,000 in damages per Nintendo game, and up to $2 million for each trademark being infringed upon. Could
What
add
an
up
idiot,
to over
though.
$100 million.
Why would you? I know these things exist, and I know people take advantage of them, but why, do it in America? Right? Do that stuff offshore?
Yeah.
Somewhere else where you're not going to get sued?
Yep. Live
I
in
don't
the Caribbean somewhere. No one can do anything to you,
Or even, spoof it somehow to have it seem like it's in another country. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. So that's all I have for Nibblebits. But yeah, I thought that was an interesting lawsuit. Because apparently they filed cease and desist orders first, but then were just like, screw it, and then they sued. So.
They went full throttle.
Full throttle. So that's that.
Something's got to give with that stuff, though. Don't you? I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, I mean, the argument for those, and Reefer mentioned it, something similar just now in the chat. The argument for that sort of thing is having access to that stuff,
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up.
A lot of those games, like you'll never be able to find a copy anywhere of it. So if it was available somewhere for a lot of people to buy, I think they would. But because it's generally not.
How much would you pay monthly to Nintendo to have access to their entire backlog? NES, SNES, N64.
If you got
GameCube.
up into those systems, I would pay a decent amount of money for that.
I would too.
Yep.
Because I mean, I was really hoping they would announce a N64 Classic at E3. They didn't end up doing it, but I would buy one of those in a freaking heartbeat. Because I don't play those often, but when I have an itch to play one of those old games, like I just want to play it, and some of them hold up surprisingly well. So yeah.
It's also publicity and awareness for your IP. I mean, a lot of TV shows now are just, after the season is over, selling the season to Netflix because it builds a fan base.
Yeah.
Because everybody has access. Well, not everybody, but most people, have a Netflix access to a Netflix account and will watch a new TV show that's on there that they may have never even heard of before, and then all of a sudden they're interested in it and they're part of the.
Yeah. Peppa Pig is kind of forward thinking here. They have a 24/7 live stream on their official YouTube channel. So you can put on. They only have a handful of episodes, maybe like 15 or 20, but you can just watch those, anytime you want. But they also have a lot of their episodes on their YouTube channel, and not only does it get a huge amount of traffic, but like Corey said, brings awareness to the brand, and they make a killing off of merchandise and all that stuff. So I don't think it's not done Peppa Pig any harm. I don't think. So that's what I put on for my twins when they're getting unruly and I need them to simmer down for a few minutes so Daddy can go to the bathroom, maybe.
Get a moment's peace at the bidet.
Yes. Anywho, Eric, how's your week?
Oh man, my week. It was all right. Jeff and Showtime were down visiting last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty fun. Showtime was very strange. Very strange. Jeff completely normal.
Yeah.
Showtime, I don't know what was going on with him. He definitely was not. I don't think he was feeling well, but it was weird that like he wasn't really saying that he wasn't feeling well. And like they were scheduled to stay until around 7-ish on Sunday night, and he up and left at 10 o'clock. And I was like, I was honestly a little worried about him.
Uh-huh.
Wasn't talking much, which is, if
he's
you
a
know
chatty
Showtime,
guy.
very unlike him. Yeah.
So you got something personal going on, maybe?
I don't know. I mean, we're probably not good enough friends for me to know if he does, so fair enough. But
I don't think I've ever had a conversation with him, so
No,
I shouldn't
no.
be.
Well, hey, I brought it up, so it's fair for you to ask. Yeah, but that kind of put a little damper on the weekend, I felt like. But we did do some cool stuff. We went to Devil's Backbone Brewery, which is a really cool place. And Bold Rock, which I've probably mentioned here before, another really cool place for hard cider. Let's see. MLB The Show, Jeff brought down with him, so that's what got me interested in purchasing that, and I found a really good deal. So Jeff bought the MVP edition for another $10, so it came out to $70. I found that edition at Costco for $30. So that's what I bought. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Costco?
$30.
Of all places?
Costco. Love Costco.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's been going on. My son is almost 7 months old.
Wow.
2 more days, he'll be 7 months old.
Crazy.
It is crazy.
They get to be more and more fun as they get away from being like a baby blob.
He's he is. He sleeps really well now. Like
Nice.
we put him to bed at probably 5:45 tonight. He'll sleep until 6 o'clock.
Okay. That's my twins too. They're usually they're like 7:30 to like 8 o'clock the next morning.
Yeah,
just straight through.
This was an early bedtime for him. It's usually 6 or 6:30, but he's trying desperately to crawl. He gets really pissed when he can't. He's not using his knees enough.
Oh, gotcha. He's
trying to push with the feet.
Yeah. Okay.
And then he forms an arc and just falls over. But yeah, he's really funny. He's I think he's a little mischievous, like his mom.
Gotcha.
His mom And my mother-in-law has told me numerous times she was a very bad baby.
Nice.
I don't think he's quite as bad as she was from the sounds of things, but he's a little naughty.
Uh-huh.
He's naughty. He likes to eat by himself now. He does not like being fed because we've let him have his own food. Like, he'll eat cucumbers or peppers or whatever. And, if we try to go back and feed him the baby mush with a spoon, he's not happy.
Yeah.
And he'll let you know. He always makes a freaking mess when he eats. But it's cute.
Yeah. It's very cute.
Yeah. So, yeah, just that pretty much. Same old shit other than that, really.
I hear you.
Yeah. Had the World Cup while I've been
right.
away. That was great. Probably the best World Cup of all time. I think most people would agree with that.
Uh-huh.
That's what I've been hearing about it.
Yeah. God.
I definitely noticed a lot more. And the circles I hang out with, people don't really talk about it at all. But I did notice, relative to the past, a lot more people showing interest in it.
Yeah, I think it's getting more popular in the States, and people always are looking for a good reason to get together and drink.
That's true.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it was great, though. Really enjoyed the World Cup. I wish I got to watch a little more than I was able to, but I could not still be more excited for the announcement that it's coming to the U.S. in 2028. I can't fucking wait.
That is pretty crazy.
It got announced, and I looked at my wife and I said, we better start saving now, because Landon and I are going to the World Cup.
Now it's just the country that hosts it, right? And then they have matches all over the.
Yep. So
it'll be
actually,
regional, right? Or is it
I
all over?
texted your sister actually because one of the sites is Edmonton because
Oh,
it's
really?
being hosted. It's a joint group with Canada, the U.S., and Mexico.
Oh, okay.
It's the first time they've ever done that before.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
That is
Yeah, so I think there's 80 games because they're expanding the field too, but 60 of the games are in the U.S. So 10 in Canada, 10 in Mexico.
They
But
have to
Edmonton is one of the cities.
They have to expand the field so the United States can actually be in it this time. Right?
Well, the host gets
Canada?
in no matter what.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Canada,
Yeah.
Mexico, and United States because they're all hosts.
Like I said, they've never done that before with 3 countries.
Oh, so they'll have to change. the
So,
rules a
but I
little bit.
think so. I mean, they're expanding to 48, and there's not. It's already there's some shit teams that get in. So
Right.
I was going to say, is Canada competitive?
no, Canada
Well,
sucks.
Fun fact, when at work, I got asked randomly who's going to win the World Cup before it started, and I knew the U.S. wasn't in it, so I wasn't going to say them, so I said Canada. And they're like, no, Canada's terrible. They didn't even make it.
It was a weird one because like Italy didn't make it.
Really?
Yeah, Italy didn't make it. The
Wow.
Netherlands didn't make it, who are usually a powerhouse. Chile didn't make it.
Wasn't Italy the best team in FIFA 96
Probably.
for Game Boy?
I mean, Italy is, they're one of the big teams usually, but yeah, they didn't make it. So yeah, anyway, some of the cities, it's like Baltimore, DC, New York City. I think Giants Stadium might be hosting the final.
Oh, wow.
Denver,
That's huge. Wow.
all over. It should be awesome.
Wouldn't want to play in Denver.
Oh, the altitude, yeah.
Yeah, with all the running around. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Eric, keep me in the loop on that. I might want to go with you.
Oh, dude, that would be it would be a blast, even for a non-soccer fan. Like, it would be an absolute blast.
What year did you say?
2028.
Oh, so we got 10 years.
8 years, yeah. It's 8 years from now. So whatever.
Oh,
If I'm still alive,
26.
I might be interested.
2026. Yeah. But yeah, I gotta make it there. I gotta start eating healthier. But
I'm not feeling too good about 40-year-old me.
yeah, tell me about it.
Oh my God, you're going to be 40?
I'll be
2020.
40.
I'll be 40 in
44.
a little over 5 years.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I'm 34.
And what are you gonna be? You're gonna be 35 soon.
35, yeah.
I'm not far behind you.
Yeah.
I'll still
Yeah.
be in my 30s, but just barely.
Tickets, Corey. The early estimates are like $400.
I think it's one of those things, though, that's probably worth it.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
It's a once in a lifetime.
kind of thing.
yeah. Seeing the U.S. play on the U.S. soil,
Yeah.
that'd be great. But that's what's been going on with me.
Okay. Corey, what do you got?
Man, I don't know. Sophie, my girlfriend, was out of town all weekend and then left again on Monday to disappear until Wednesday. So I had a lot of Corey time. Almost too much, you know?
Yeah. It's not a. It gets to not be a good thing, doesn't it?
No,
Yeah.
no. Like a
Did you
day is
shower,
fine.
Like,
No,
yeah.
a day is fine. And then once you get to day 2 and you're like, oh, am I going to do this all over again today? And the answer is always yes. And then you're like, you start to hate yourself by the end of that second day. I actually was happy to go back to work on Monday. Like, excited to wake up and like clean myself up,
Yeah.
interact, like get back in a bit of a routine, do something productive. It was nice, but
I struggle with that amount of free time. I just end up sitting there and like, I'm like, what do I even do with myself?
Yeah, it's called analysis paralysis when you have so many options
Yeah.
that you just don't know.
You don't do any of them.
Right. Yeah.
I have the exact opposite problem.
You're able to just hunker
You're-
down and start something and
You're
do
a
it.
lucky
No,
bastard.
I don't.
Dan.
I don't have enough time
Oh, right.
to do anything,
Oh,
so I'm
wow.
constantly doing something.
When was the last time, Dan, that you woke up and had the only thing you had to worry about was Dan in that day?
How old is Max?
7,
It was about 7 years back, right?
probably. No, it was when my wife took Max and Marlo to. Remember, we had guys' weekend here. That
Oh,
was
that's
probably,
right.
that was probably the last time.
It was 3 years ago, right?
Yeah,
Maybe a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But even still, it still weighs on you mentally. Like,
Oh,
you know,
definitely.
you wonder what they're up to.
yeah. Oh yeah. I definitely had it in the back of my mind. I know when my wife took them to her mother's house, like her mom's a little nutty at times. So like they didn't have any place to sleep. I don't know that there was a lot of food. So she ended up coming home that one night and then staying at my parents' house the next night. So yeah,
Yeah.
there's that stuff too.
But
Now, let's be clear. She is not homeless.
No. She has a
Right.
house.
Right.
But
It's
I
just
don't
in a
Clear
car.
that-
I don't think
clear
she
that
ever
confusion.
ever stays
It's
there.
just a Volkswagen.
Just a van down by the river. Anything else, Corey?
I don't know. Probably.
Corey, you've been out. You've been at a fucking lake house every weekend.
It's
Yeah,
not
weren't you playing Switch while camping?
I guess it's not out of the ordinary.
right when it's because we do it so often that it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
really. I don't really even think to talk about it. I don't know.
Okay.
Humble
Fair enough.
brag.
One of my friends texted me and he's like, "Geez, where are you now? You're like a world traveler." And I'm like, "It might seem like that, but everywhere we go is within like an hour and a half from here. You know, we're
Yeah,
never
yeah.
going too far.
Yeah.
We're just fortunate to have options to do that like all the
Right.
time.
You do it now. You know, if you.
That's another
if-
thing
if
too.
and when
is,
you
yeah.
decide to have kids, then a lot of times especially more than one or two. If you decide to have 4, you won't have time to do anything.
And that's what gets me out of the house too, because I'm one of those people like that believes in that quote. There's never enough time to do all the nothing I want.
Yeah.
But I do think about what you just said, Dan, all the time, and that's sort of what gets me up and out doing things.
It's true.
Because my default state is home in the air conditioning, entertaining myself somehow.
Yep.
But yeah, same old stuff.
All right.
With that, I actually have to bounce.
Peace.
So, thanks for having me on, and
Yeah.
enjoy the rest of the show, guys.
Yeah, we'll see you
Yeah,
later.
Corey.
Bye.
Will, what do you got?
Thank God
boy.
he's gone.
Yeah. Wow.
I guess I can lob my clothing thing to you two.
Oh, Corey just missed it.
Yeah, he did.
Wow. I'm glad I stuck around.
So, I've recently discovered the joy of lifting in compression pants.
Oh.
Tight pants.
The guy in Richford was right.
So, I only wear them for leg day, and this is why I like them. I like them because when you wear shorts, sweatpants, whatever your clothing of choice to lift in, you don't get a good range of motion sometimes. You get, the clothes kind of hold you back from being able to do the lift completely well for me sometimes. Might be because my clothes don't fit me because I'm getting fat right now. So I like being able to have full range of motion. It's like I'm not wearing pants. And I really enjoy that feeling. I understand why girls wear leggings.
Well,
So, I've recently been taking a lot of crap for it from almost
From-
everybody.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Um,
What did your dad have to say about that?
He asked me if that's what I was wearing. I told him yes, and then he didn't say anything.
The silence said it all.
Yeah, he's not vocal about it. He's probably extremely disappointed. My mom, on the other hand, when I got picked on by Richford guy, she was like, "Well, you deserve it,"
Yeah.
sort of
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
So, I wanted to get. What do you guys think?
I tend to agree with your mom. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I'm not. I understand where you're coming from, Will, with the range of motion and stuff.
Yeah.
But I would never wear them anywhere but at home.
Like if you had a gym at your house.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
When I wear them at the gym, I feel like almost everyone's picking on me.
You're probably right.
There was the second day I wore them, I went in to do a leg day, and I walked in, and this one girl was looking at me and didn't break looking at me, and I was like, she's definitely picking on me so hard right now and judging me. It made me a little uncomfortable. A lot of people ask, I sometimes wear shorts with them, sometimes I don't, depending on how I'm feeling that day, if I want to assert my dominance.
If you want
Over
everyone to see your bulge.
Yeah.
You sure she wasn't checking it out, Will?
Oh, no, she was definitely judging. You can just tell.
Because I'm told that no matter what you wear these days, you shouldn't be subject to somebody checking out your bulge.
You know what? I should probably tell the gym owner how uncomfortable I felt.
I think you should.
Get her kicked out.
And tell him that you should be able to wear those skin tight pants with your bulge showing without somebody ogling you.
At least they're not made out of leather, too. That would be crossing the line.
In the chat, it's pretty unanimous. Everyone's picking on you.
Pretty accurate. It's really. Yeah. Okay. So it's something, we all do things that make, gets us picked on. Sure. I guess this will be my thing.
All right.
Wearing compression gear. But man, is it nice deadlifting in that. I've been PRing in deadlift. It's just upped my game.
Well, let me ask you this. So
Yes.
if you leave the gym,
yeah,
and say you're going to the grocery store, not necessarily, just like a random grocery store.
yeah.
Do you throw a pair of shorts on over?
Okay, so I was getting ripped one night for wearing them by one of my friends. He was ginger, so I don't know why he was ripping me, but so on.
Ginger girl's very attractive.
Ginger man.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying.
No.
There's a place for gingers.
Yep.
Debatable. But anyway. Where was I? All right, I was going to Jonathan's to get pizza with my friends. And he goes, "You're really going to wear those to a bar?"
Oh, man.
And I was like, yeah. And I was like, what? Like, is some dude at the bar going to call me something? Like, I don't care. Like, whatever. And he's like, whatever, man. Like, do it. So nobody said anything to me, just my friends that night. But I've also went into, Wegmans wearing them. I know almost everybody there. So whatever. It's just Will being a jagaloon. So I kind of get away with it from them. But yeah.
The answer is you do not put shorts on if you're going somewhere else.
If I have shorts on previously, I will go to wherever I am wearing those shorts over my compression gear. But that hasn't been every time. I probably wear 80% of the time I will wear the compression gear with no shorts. I think the shorts looks a little goofy sometimes.
But not the nut huggers.
I don't. So I kind of, all right, this is kind of how I wear. Sometimes I wear underwear under that, so it kind of hides the nuts.
Here, the reason I ask Will is because we have a gym close to my store, and we'll get some guys, not often, but we do get guys coming in their compression shorts, and I just think, what are you doing? And now I know that that's you.
Yeah, most people don't. A lot of people in the fitness community don't wear shorts over them.
But they do when they leave and go to the store next door.
Depends. I usually wear long shirts, too.
So that nobody can see your buns?
I mean, unless you're really looking, you don't really know. I mean, honestly, like I don't see why you need to.
I want to know what Corey's opinion is.
Oh, he'd be ripping into me.
Yes,
You think you would? Okay.
Oh yeah. Or he would
See,
be on my
you
side. I don't
that's
know.
the thing. You never know with Corey.
That's true.
You just don't know. Corey might be like, yeah, I don't see what the big deal is. Or he'd be like, man, Will, you really fucked up. It's
So
one way or the other.
So everybody's saying they're 99% sure you need to wear them. I want to know why.
You know, it's just
Because
it's an
if
unwritten
you
rule.
So say you go to people who do powerlifting competitions, stuff like that. People, they don't wear any shorts over that, and those are way more revealing than compression gear.
I wish they would.
But they don't.
I know. It's somewhere we got lost along the way. I feel like Adam Carolla could really lead us in the right direction with this one.
Well, he would not be a fan of this.
No.
That one bet.
And here's the thing with me. My motto is, what would Adam Carolla do? So
Completely different wearing boxer briefs in a store. Completely different.
Is it? Is it all that different?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the same family
it's the
of
same
clothes.
thing as girls wearing leggings out.
Leggings.
They don't throw shorts on under that. No, like
I don't know, man.
it's the same thing. It's
don't
like
know.
if you look at a girl in leggings, you're like, nice. Like, other girls are
Well, that
judging
might
other
be you
girls.
because you're a bigot. I would never do that.
But other girls
We
judge
don't look
other
at
girls when they wear leggings.
We don't look at women.
So then guys are judging other guys for wearing leggings. Girls might not.
Yeah, Will's just breaking down gender barriers. I think that's what he's trying to say.
That's what we
So-
do. That's what we do in the Murtha household. why I'm a
We've been
stay-at-home
known
dad.
to pioneer social change.
I'm proud of you, Will. I think you're out there changing things.
So yeah, that's my counter argument to that. Girls wear leggings with no shorts on. Why can't I? That's
Yeah, I mean,
that's what I think about it.
listen, I'm
Because
still going to talk to you whether I agree with you or not.
break that glass ceiling. Oh, and a lot of people in the fitness community do not wear shorts. So maybe I don't have that much to hide either for my package.
I just, well, hey, good for you.
I am
Makes
a
one of us.
Murtha.
You should stuff your shorts.
One of my friends made that joke that I should do that.
That's what I would
Put
do.
a sock down there.
Yeah, throw a couple socks in there.
Yeah. A couple of tube socks.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's my thing. I get picked on. I've had some support, but very little.
Who supported you?
People who are more into lifting. It's the people who don't lift who think it's stupid.
Yeah, me personally, like, even if I wore them at the gym, if I was going to go somewhere afterwards, I would definitely put shorts on or change.
It's a
I
commitment.
just would. Yeah. No, I know. It's a commitment to
do that.
lifting fashion.
I don't even count it as fashion. It's more getting an extra edge on my game. I'm bulking, so like I'm really trying to fill out and get stronger and bigger. So any edge I can get.
Yep.
And I used
Well,
to.
why do you need to edge at Jonathan's?
I mean, I don't have clothes on me, so like I'm.
You just got to bring a pair of gym shorts.
Yeah, but I'm gonna eat there at a bar at 10 o'clock at night. Like I don't really
Yeah.
care if people are gonna look at me and be like, "Oh, look at this," whatever. Insert homophobic slur.
Beefcake.
Yeah, like what?
Yeah,
I doesn't.
I'm thinking beefcake.
It doesn't. I'm the waitress there serving us. I know. I see at the gym. I talk to. Like I'm with my friends. I don't care if they pick on me. So like some drunk a-hole at the bar, like being like, "Oh, look at you!" Like I just don't care.
Well, next time I come to New York, I'm gonna go to Jonathan's and get drunk at the bar by myself, and I want you to walk in
Where
and sit at a different table from me so I can be that drunk asshole.
go for it. I mean, as I said, this is. A
Will come put me in a
commitment.
chokehold and put me to sleep.
I'm not that strong,
Okay, well,
nor am I a
me either.
fighter. So
Hey, good for you, Will. You do whatever you want.
I'm bringing social change. Screw
I'm
all
all
of you.
about people doing whatever they want as long as you're not trying to push it on me.
Yep. Same here.
I'm
So
not
just
pushing.
don't expect me to wear them.
I'm not pushing my bulge on anybody. So
Well, then we're all good.
that'll cause jail time.
Thank goodness for that.
It's a good way to wrap up that conversation.
I'm glad we got some mileage out of that discussion. I was worried it was just gonna fall flat.
we had to get to the bottom of it, you know.
I'll tell you what, my deadlifts have just shot up since I started wearing them. So
I think you gained confidence is what happened.
by wearing the compression gear.
Yeah, your confidence level rose, and therefore your PRs are rising.
Yeah, I look at the mirror and I, turn a cheek and say, "Ooh, I look great."
Wink at yourself. Get a good lift going.
Now, where it gets ridiculous is when I start Instagramming it.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Well, I got to tell you, we're not going to be Instagram friends if you start doing that.
Well, for that to happen, I actually need to start posting.
I was going to say, you never post anything.
It's been December since I last posted. So, we're coming up on my bi-yearly post.
Oh, it's going to be a doozy.
Maybe that'll be what I break my silence with.
Okay. Anything else, Will?
No, I think that's it.
All right. I got a couple things. First, I got a new piece of technology today. I missed out on the Prime Day sales for Chromebooks. And the one I've been wanting was on sale at Best Buy, so I went and got, or I guess the wife ordered it for me, Acer Chromebook, and it's the one that flips into a tablet.
And is this the
With the
same one
touchscreen?
I got?
It's
Oh, wow.
kind of the same, but it flips into it, and it's got a touchscreen.
Okay, yeah.
But it's the same like form factor. It's got all the Google apps on it. I got it at 6:00 tonight, so I haven't done too much with it. But already it's made podcasting easier because I can type out my notes on it instead of having to handwrite them and have a hard time reading them when we're recording. So that's been a big help. But I'll have a more complete report on a Chromebook next week.
I've liked it's my wife's really. We got it for her, but I've used it, I think, more than she has so far. I like it.
Yeah,
cool.
it's it's a good simple laptop. I've been just recommending these to people who want laptops for a few years now, just because it doesn't get outdated as quickly as, especially if you get a cheap laptop, they're just garbage.
Right, and this is like I told her. I was like, listen, I mean, I think it was 100 and I don't remember. We'll say it was $150. I go, if you don't like it, you're only out $150 as opposed to what. Because she was looking at MacBooks, and I was like, I mean,
For 2,000, right?
right.
And you don't. And the thing is if you're not doing like hefty video editing or or computer aided drafting or anything like that, you don't need all that computing power, right? Yeah, if you're just doing schoolwork, I mean, schools like my kids are going to get these next year in school, so, or my son is, because starting in second grade they do Chromebooks, so.
Right.
My wife has used hers for her doctorate classes, so yeah, it's perfect for that. We've also been doing a lot of work on the house. I don't know if people remember, but this room used to be blue, but it's since been painted. I painted the window trim, I painted the walls, I painted the baseboards. We put up new curtains. We're doing a full-on dining room refresh. There's still crap in the background here. If you can see, I've got to organize that. My wife's desk is going back here. But the kitchen was a couple weeks ago, but we still have to paint the cupboards and stuff in there. But we went with a tangerine, and it's almost like an antique white on opposite walls in here. And it looks really nice. It's nice and bright. We took down the old blinds that we had in here and just have curtains now. So our house is... We have to optimize space for having a large family in a small house, so that's what we've been working on. But also modernizing a little bit because we hadn't painted or anything for the most part, at least not this room since we moved in. So, and then last but not least, I had a wedding this weekend, the past weekend, which it's always fun, but it's weird to leave the kids for that long. But the reason why I wanted to talk about it was because I got a lot of compliments on my attire.
You were styling, Dan.
You looked sharp.
I was styling. So I don't know if you can see necessarily as well on the stream, but I have bright lime green colored glasses. So I ordered a tie to match my glasses. It was a bright lime green tie. I ordered it for $10 off of Amazon. And I wore my suit that I got a couple years ago for my cousin's wedding. Got a new shirt. I had to get new shoes, unfortunately, because I lost my other ones because I wear them like once a year, so I never know where they are. But yeah, I have never gotten so many compliments on my outfit. Everyone loved my neon tie and neon green tie and neon green glasses.
Dan, when I saw it, I thought it was video game chic.
Video game chic, yeah.
Yep. Now,
I can see that.
Dan, I actually
Yep.
was going to text you earlier today and
Mhm.
ask you, what was the website where you get your glasses from?
There's a few. So these I got from Zenny Optical, zennyoptical.com. I think they were like $19 for frames and lenses. And then I always get the anti-reflective coating, which is another like $4 or $5. So I order a new pair of glasses every like 3 months because they're so cheap.
Yeah,
and then I have
really
backups. But yeah, I was having a conversation with someone at the wedding. Him and his wife had just spent $1,500 on glasses, and I'm like, you got to like these were $25, you know. So yeah, there's goggles for you was the first one I started ordering from, and that was many years ago. I was still living in the apartment when I buy glasses from them. But yeah, Zenny Optical is the one I kind of use now. It takes like a week after you order them to get them, and as long as you know your sizes and your prescription, it's super easy to order. I think they
How
even
do you
have
find your size out?
like if you like the size of your current frames, you can use that as a starting off point. So just measure them. It's in millimeters. You have to know your prescription and pupillary distance. But yeah, it's I usually go with like large or extra large. I like bigger glasses. I don't like smaller glasses because my head is large.
Excuse me,
Small
what's a
glasses,
milliliter or millimeter?
millimeter?
Yeah.
So, or is it centimeters? Might be centimeters. No, I think it's millimeters that they're measured in. It's metric.
This is America, Dan. We go by
know.
inches.
I know.
Come on, Dan.
Yes, we do. Drop the link. Yeah, I can do that.
I got it.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, they have a lot of different kinds. So great for kids too. Like my son, we got him expensive glasses when he needed glasses last year, and they were scratched and broken in like 3 weeks. So next time he needs glasses, he's gonna get cheap ones.
Oh, look, they got sunglasses for cheap.
But I looked pretty decent, but I still, however, didn't look nearly as good as my wife. She looked amazing, so
Oh,
Aww.
she did.
Dan, dishing all the credit to her that you got
Oh, yeah.
for the
Oh, yeah.
compliments.
One thing I will say though is I love their beer selection. They had an Ommegang one, and I don't remember. Oh, I'll look up the picture. I was really excited because they had a few craft brews and not just like Bud Light and Coors Light.
That's what happened at the wedding I went to.
Yeah, so it was fantastic. Then they had like Sam Adams. They had the like a Bud Light or whatever, but
Right.
they had enough. Like I drank 4 Ommegangs like right away, and Corey said it was in his top 5 favorite beers. I'll look it up because I need to know. It was the Ommegang Rare Voss Amber Ale, and it was top notch. Let me tell you.
Oh, dude. So I went to Ommegang Brewery for Justin's bachelor party.
Yeah,
That was my favorite beer, so
Oh.
I bought a glass that says it on it.
so good, right?
Yeah. Oh, I'm not a big beer fan, but that
Right.
one was really good.
Yeah, it was unbelievably good. I had like 4 of those, and then I had a Brooklyn brewery one that I didn't like as much. It was sour. It tasted like grapefruit, kinda.
Oh, I love sour beer.
I didn't like that one that much. I feel like I had another craft brew. I had one whiskey and ginger ale because I didn't want to. We had a lot going on the next day. I didn't want to be hurting the next day, so I didn't. I
You were like
but I
Will
didn't-
Ferrell in Old School. You didn't know if you had enough time.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll have enough time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good time. So I think that's all I have for my week. So are we gonna skip what we played? Do you want to talk
I'm-
about anything, Eric?
I'm probably gonna take off.
Okay.
I gotta work in the morning. I could talk about MLB real quick if you want me to.
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it. What do you got?
Okay. Yeah. So I bought MLB The Show. I haven't looked into all the game modes, but the one that I've really been enjoying is Diamond Dynasty. I am sure people that have played this game yearly are familiar. But anyway, Diamond Dynasty is cool. It's kind of like Ultimate Team where you build your team based on cards. It's got a really complex and deep system as far as how to get good players and good versions of good players cards. It's kind of difficult to explain, but you have to basically work your way through missions for lower level cards that then go towards higher level cards for specific players. But you kind of have to put in some time to research like which lower level guy's card will go. So we'll say it's like Frank Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm trying to get the Frank Thomas card, I have to go and do Chris Carter missions and get all of the Chris Carter missions done that will then go towards the Frank Thomas challenge. So there will be like 2 or 3 lower level guys that you have to do all their challenges to get experience towards the Frank Thomas card.
Okay.
But there's
Gotcha.
also challenges that you have to do with Frank Thomas, and like, so with the Chris Carter card, my last challenge I have to complete is getting a walk and an RBI.
Ooh.
And a walk is pretty difficult to get.
I was gonna say it's probably pretty difficult to get one.
Oh, so listen to the experience I had the other night. So I've got bases loaded. It's a 3-1 count. I'm up 3-1 in the count with Chris Carter. Bases loaded.
You're trying
So
to
if
walk, aren't you?
If I get a walk, I get a walk. Walk and an RBI here.
Yeah.
Struck out swinging.
How bad were you?
Oh, livid. Because I mean, I'm not going to get that chance again.
No. Definitely not.
No. So that mode is really fun. I've trying to get a deep dive into that. I'm barely scratched the surface really. So inside Diamond Dynasty, there's a mode called Battle Royale, which is not what you'd expect these days, but it's kind of like a fantasy draft. There's 25 rounds in the draft. Each round you get to pick a player from 4 cards to fill out a roster. And you play against other people online in 3-inning games, which is perfect. So like your pitcher's energy will drop faster because it's a shorter game.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of have to manage your bullpen, even though it's only a 3-inning game. Yeah, but it's just really fun, and you can play until you lose twice, and the more wins you accumulate before you lose twice, the better the rewards are at the end. So, but more packages of cards or whatever. But yeah, I've had a really good time with it. It's difficult. It's some of the people that you come up against are really good. Like, I don't know how they don't swing at some of the pitches. Like, not swinging at pitches is so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so hard. And they get me with the high heat every fucking time.
Just like real life.
It's tempting. Yeah.
Well, it's like, you go through a couple innings and you say to yourself, all right, this guy has struck you out with the high heat every time. Do not swing this time. And sure enough,
You
swing and a miss. The high heater. Alto queso.
That was always the pitch that I hated in baseball when I played.
It's hard to lay off, man.
I hated
Well,
all the pitches because I was a terrible hitter, so I just took a walk most of the time.
Well, the problem with the high heat is because it's at eye level, you're like, oh man, I got this. But your arms are very short comparatively, so you have to like swing up high, and it's just not natural. So that's why you don't catch up to it.
Yeah. But no, the game is great. Highly recommend. If you have a Costco nearby, see if you can get it for $30. I mean, that was a great deal. It's a really fun game. It's fun to play against your friends too. Jeff and I played an online game the other night, and that was a lot of fun. Because you can set it to 3 innings, 5 innings. We did a 5-inning game.
Nice.
So I think that's all I've been playing, really.
Okay.
I'm going to get Madden.
Oh, nice.
Doing a connected franchise with some friends. So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
We have to figure out a time to do Fortnite again.
Yeah.
So let me
Love
know.
to.
I don't think we have anything specific on the docket now. So if you have a week where you can get everyone together, just let me know.
All right. Hopefully Showtime's not a weirdo.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should play too.
Yeah. I'm up for playing.
We should
So, I mean,
definitely.
as
But
long-
what time are you usually available now?
Anytime after like 9:00 usually. I'm
9.
good.
Okay.
So
Cool.
just fire me a text. I'd be happy to play.
Are we friends on Epic?
I don't think so.
Okay. We need to figure that out.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen.
All right,
Well, with
man.
that, I will head out. It's been fun being back in the saddle here.
Yeah. Take her easy.
All right.
Eric, thank you.
All right, Will.
Yeah.
Feedback.
Do it.
Let's see here. So we have one from last week from Tate. Let me reorganize the windows here. Whoop. Oh, come on, man.
Dan.
I know. Well, this is all new. Will, you're completely off screen.
I'm on screen.
Can I? No. Not on my Skype window. Can I do top and bottom? I hate to do this when we're live, but I guess it has to be side by side. I don't know. Ah, well, forget it.
Am I still off screen?
Yeah, you're half on my screen. Just turn your webcam to face the door a little bit more. Yeah, you're good. Perfect. Okay. So the first is from Tate. This is from last week. I didn't do feedback last week because it was just me. So it says, "Sup, y'all. Hope things are well with you. I beat Far Cry 5 this week. It was one of those beaten games where you're no longer interested in any of the story anymore, and you're about halfway through the game, but you spent so much time on that, you just have to finish it because it would be a waste not to. I honestly really enjoyed a lot of the gameplay mechanics and such, but holy crap, the story of Far Cry 5 is stupid. I could not have been more uninterested in it, and the ending I got was terrible. So just brace yourself, Danny, if you decide to keep playing it. The story is dumb. I'd rather spend 2 hours shooting turkeys and airplanes while getting shot at by cultists than actually go through the story of that game again. Rant over." He says, "Okay, so I was surprised none of you had completed everything in the awesome adventures of Captain Spirit last week, especially Dan, because I know you were a completionist. So if you haven't already gone through the game again and finished it completely, I wanted to talk through a couple important things that weren't all clear last week. I did complete it fully, and what I got from it was Chris's mom was killed in a car accident at the intersection of Mantle and Asteroid. Because he had heard stories about this in his childlike way, he made up a supervillain that killed his mom called Mantroid. I don't think Chris fully understood what was going on, but this was his way of coping with his mom being gone. I like how you guys all discuss how these games put us in the shoes of people we can't relate with in our own lives, and it gives us a hint at what it must be like to live in someone else's shoes, and I love that. It is very true, and I felt for Chris the whole time. I'm very excited to see how Life is Strange 2 relates to it all. Anyways, have a great week. All Taterade out." So that was Tate's from last week. Tate also sent this one for this week. Take a quick drink.
Yeah.
Yes, Dave, you missed the Nintendo talk. We're doing feedback now. But we can always talk more Nintendo.
Yeah, just let us know what you want us to talk about. We love the Switch.
We love the Switch. Love it.
Love it.
So Tate says, "Sup, athletes. I realized last week I forgot to say which game I wanted from the previous week. I'll take 69. Don't remember what the game was, but 69 because 69. In the name of Billy Madison, I choose 69. Insert mocking laugh by Adam Sandler." So this week they had a sale on Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare Remastered, so my brother and I split it because it was the only Call of Duty I really liked. I have a lot of great memories with that game, so we got it and have had a blast with it going down memory lane on good old Call of Duty 4. I remember putting hours on end to that game with 5 of my teammates in high school. We had a 6-man squad, and it was always fun having the whole team together. I played receiver in high school, and my best buddy played corner and would guard me during practice. Instead of talking shit to each other, we would talk about how we were going to go straight home after practice and play Call of Duty. Anyways, that was that was my gaming fun for the week. I've been listening to the podcast from episode 1 and just going all the way through it all. I came upon the episode you guys talked about the times you did things in the name of the game, like Corey shitting his pants at a friend's house because he didn't want to stop playing Donkey Kong. I was good about knowing when I needed to stop playing my whole life, basically until college. One specific time, I was really into a UFC game for some reason, and it was finals week. I started studying for my organic chemistry final, and 2 minutes later decided UFC sounded more fun. Because of that, I didn't study for my organic chemistry final, got a 57 on the final, and failed the class. Because I failed that class, I decided on a career change from being a dentist to teaching high school and coaching football. So basically, UFC changed my life. Anyways, guys, have a great week. Game on. Taterade out.
I don't think we've ever had a life-changing moment out of any of these.
Yeah, I always more took it as when something like that would happen to me, I always took it more as this is not something I want to do, you know? It's not what I want to be doing. It's not what I should be doing. So.
That's a good point.
If something for me was that important, then I would do that instead of playing a game. As much as I love video games, like during the day, or if I have a house project, for example, to work on, especially like even at night when it was normally my game time, if I can do the house project that I'm currently focused on, I'd rather do that.
Well, we also never really valued school
No,
too high. Even me going through college now, like whenever I set aside time to study, I almost never study. So
Yeah.
I'd rather be playing a video game. I'd rather be watching Dragon Ball Z, The
Yeah.
Office.
Well,
So
like my wife talked about, she is now working in the school that we went to school. All of us went to school in. And
Yeah.
I went and visited. I took the kids and we visited her in her office today. And,
Weird.
I went to the old Newark Valley Middle School.
did you get like PTSD?
No, I didn't remember that much of it, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I think I blacked that part of my childhood out. I obviously remembered the like basic layout, and then once I saw some of the stuff, I remembered it. But I didn't remember it as well as I thought I would.
The creepy statues.
Creepy statues.
Yeah, you remember? Were those not there when you were there?
I don't think so.
Yeah, there's creepy statues in the middle school.
Where?
I want to say you go into the entrance and go to the left. It's like all the presidents.
I didn't notice that. I wasn't looking
Yeah.
around much. I didn't want to trigger PTSD.
You were just trying to herd children.
Yeah, well,
in
that's
the
just
school.
it. We were focused on making sure one of the kids didn't run off on us. So, Call of Duty. One thing I thought was interesting is Tate talking about Call of Duty here. That's Fortnite now.
Yeah.
It's funny how that's like taking the place of Call of Duty. Yeah.
It's the same thing with us. Like we would be playing sports and we'd be like, "You getting on tonight?" Like,
yeah. With EverQuest.
for some zombies or whatever. So we were the same way.
Okay.
Instead of like upping our competitive level, we're all just like, "Hey, we partying up tonight?"
Yeah. That's how it is. I mean, I sent it to you guys, I think, but it was the coach he was a coach of a lacrosse team. I don't know if I ended up tweeting this out from Thumbstick Athlete's Twitter. I wanted to, but I'm not sure if I did. But it was a coach who his team was doing like a lacrosse tournament or something, and he was giving the pregame speech trying to get his kids fired up, and he was using Fortnite references. He was like, we're down to the last 10. We got our whatever weapons and whatever buffs, and we're gonna go out there. And he used all the lingo and stuff, which I don't really know because I've only played a little bit. But it was very entertaining, and boy, were his kids pumped up when they heard him talking about Fortnite.
It's the best way to get to the youth today.
Yes, it is. And Tate will take Game 69. We got to get caught up on game giveaway. The next piece of feedback is from Alex, who says, Michael Scott. So I am instituting Prima Nocta. Jim Halpert says to the camera. Prima Nocta, I believe, is from the movie Braveheart, and confirmed on Wikipedia is when the king got to deflower every new bride on her wedding night. So, Michael Scott. I'm sorry. I had a very different understanding as to what Prima Nocta meant. Alex says, hello everyone, Octopath Traveler looks so cool. I listened to the Kotaku review, which talks about how the 8 stories involved are very common in JRPGs and how that is a downfall, but to me that is perfect. The only thing close to a JRPG that I've played is Golden Sun, so all stories will be new experiences for me. I can't wait. This year's Prime Day wasn't as bad as previous years, but it still doesn't compare to Black Friday. I wonder if it will ever become greater than Black Friday. That's it. Have a great weekend, and I hope everyone is doing well. Alex. Yeah, Alex, I agree. That's not a downfall for me. And we talked about it during the main segment, but I actually like that the stories kind of stay separated from each other, and they don't combine into one narrative. I like that. I think that's interesting.
Wait, so Kotaku wrote in their review that the different characters having their own story.
No, it was
a downfall.
No, is that they're common JRPG like tropes, I guess.
Well, that's for every story game.
Yeah,
you know,
I recently
like Garrus Vicarian has his own story. Like,
yeah.
Who wrote that? Who wrote that review?
I'm not sure.
I'm gonna look. I gotta search. Kotaku's website sucks.
Yeah, it's a blog. It's not really a website.
Octopath.
Prime Day. I didn't order anything for myself for Prime Day, but we got the kids, my older two kids, Chromebooks for Christmas that are hiding right behind me. So that was a steal for us because we had been planning on getting them anyway, and they were significantly cheaper than they usually are. So that was great.
Jason Schreier.
It's Jason Schreier? Oh, he's played every JRPG under the sun. So that's probably why.
A little disappointed with that take.
Yeah, but at the same time, he's played literally every JRPG under the sun.
Yeah.
So if
true.
anyone would know that these are standard JRPG stories, then he would.
He beat all 8 stories in 36 hours. That's incredible.
Yeah. I'm at almost 30 hours and I'm not even close. Like I'm not even through second chapters. All the second chapters.
He must have really hated those stories because he probably skipped all of all the dialogue.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. And then one more piece of feedback is from... Oh, hang on. It's from Reefer, or Eric, who says, "Hey guys, I wanted to take the it's from Reefer, or Eric. I want to take the opportunity while Corey's back on an episode to ask when he and Will are going back to fix the timelines in their botched Final Fantasy VI playthrough from the extra live stream. Hashtag Sid is dead. Love, Eric."
Sid's alive. Alive and well.
Sid's
he
alive.
made it.
So, I mean, I didn't catch all that. I mean, I know what happens in that part, but you just didn't get him good enough fish?
Yeah. I don't know what happened. I think I was playing and...
Not paying close enough attention?
Well, you know when you would go to the thing and the fish would be slow, so we would just we'll just go back in, re-enter until we get a fast fish. Well, that ended up killing him.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that happening, because it's random.
Yeah,
right?
because it's random, so we were just getting bad luck, and Corey and I didn't want to watch Silas try to kill herself.
Yeah.
So we reloaded.
Okay. Never forget.
And then we ended up saving him.
Yeah, I think it's better to give him like a medium-paced fish than nothing at all.
Nothing. Yeah. And that was my bad. I think that was the second half that we played, like later in the night.
Yeah.
So we were, tired. I was getting a little grumpy. That was when I was yelling at Corey late into the night for not guiding me through the complex. I think it was like the Phoenix Cavern or something like that, and Corey wasn't directing me at all through the puzzles, and I was getting cranky.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So
cool.
So he's alive. That's the timeline we decided to go with.
Nice. Okay. Anything else?
I got nothing.
Okay, that was I think that was everything for feedback.
So what we got?
It is
3, 4.
Tate sent one last week, so
4.
Yeah, we'll lump them all into one. So Tate will get 2 entries, and then Alex and Reefer.
We can do 3. I didn't.
No, he sent one last week, so I think it's only fair
sure.
that we count him twice. So he'll be 1 and 2.
Okay.
Alex will be 3, and Eric will be 4.
And 3.
3. Oh, hang on. Oh, 3. Oh, Alex. Okay.
Yep. Alex 1. Now I'm a little rusty. What is it? 150 something for games total.
Whoa.
Total games.
I'm bringing it up right now. Updated game giveaway list. It's still 150. There's a couple blanks, so
Okay.
let me. Okay, go ahead.
All right. 137.
137 is Fear 2 Project Origin. That's come up a few times. That's in his other, because we're back Tate's last week, but he said he wants game 69, and then Alex has another one before that.
Okay.
With 137 on there.
56.
56. It's really hot in this room right now. That's Mordheim,
Yeah.
City of the Damned.
Oh, sounds like a winner. 113.
113 is Tower of Guns.
Man. 27.
27 is Medal of Honor. That's the EA one.
Okay.
Did you say 27?
Yep.
That's the recent reboot that ended up kind of killing the franchise.
The reboot that didn't end up working.
Yes.
55.
55 is Minion Masters. Don't know what that is.
Some heavy hitters.
So your choices are Alex, Fear 2 Project Origin, 56 Mordheim, City of the Damned, 13 Tower of Guns, 27 Medal of Honor, or Minion Masters.
So, Reefer is putting his backing to Mordheim.
Mordheim. Yeah, I feel like I have that on my Steam wish list. I have so many games on my wish list that I forget which ones are on there and which ones aren't, and I forget what they're about. Because I'll be browsing my queue, and I'll see, oh, that's a cool game, so I'll just add it to my wish list. If I end up buying it, probably never, but
Eventually, it'll show up there at some point.
yeah, I'll buy it when
how
it's
you got it.
buy it when it's $3
Yeah.
on a sale. So next week we don't have a topic, so we will come up with something. Who knows, maybe the Fortnite episode will be next week. I feel like the only new game that's coming out soon is Monster Hunter World for PC. That'll come out on the 9th, but that's one we will need to have some time with before we do a review. So
Yeah, I really don't think I'm getting anything until Spyro Reignited
oh, you're not getting Monster Hunter?
for PC.
Yeah.
I already have it on Xbox.
Oh, that's right. So you can play it.
I mean, maybe Tomb Raider.
I'll definitely be getting Tomb Raider.
Are you getting that on PC? Oh, you have to, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think actually Spyro is probably the next game I'm getting.
Okay.
So
Nice. All right. I think that's everything.
yeah.
Yeah. That'll do it for episode 366 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
And I'm Will.
Thanks for listening, and get out of my basement. All right.
You know what we forgot to mention about Octopath Traveler?
What?
Soundtrack.